Hey there, Kendall here. And you already knew that because you're on my profile or you're seeing it on the wall, right? Because this is my name. No. So still up in Arkansas, up here in the Hot Springs area, took the kids out to feed and pet and hold alligators today. that was quite the experience, holding on to these not humongous alligators, but they weren't this big. They were pretty big. I'm gonna have to post some pictures of definitely my 4-year-old. He was holding onto an alligator, and the pure joy in the boy's face says everything. I mean, you put an alligator in a 4-year-old's hands, and oh my goodness, does his world ever light up if he doesn't scare. And the alligator, it moved just a little bit, and he screamed at the top of his lungs and dropped him. And I was like, don't drop the alligator. Don't drop the alligator. And everybody got an opportunity to feed them some dead thing. I don't know what it was, but they were feeding them probably chicken or something. But yeah, so it has been an adventure, kind of hot and everything, but we are headed down to the lake, and that's going to be another adventure. And I wanted to jump on really quick and just share, just a little connection, just a little lesson of the day, as I normally do. And today I was thinking about it because there's this picture that I took at the alligator petting zoo, that I took of my son, and he's standing there, and there's probably like 20 alligators, and they're in like a pool, and they have this dry area, and they climb up, and they come up on this grade like this to be fed, and they're all lined up, and they're piling on top of each other to get to this one little piece of food. This one little piece of food that's at the end of a stick that, in this case, my 6-year-old was feeding them. And I stood there on the other side of the pen to get, of course, the best picture, right? Because that's what us moms do. We go to the best picture spot. But I was standing there, and I looked at it, and I was like, just look at this. There's all of these alligators, and number one, they're pinned up, and they're solid muscle. They're solid just strength and force. And as they get bigger, massive force, right? Nothing to be reckoned with, because, they are just so strong. And they are, some of the oldest creatures on our planet still existing from prehistoric days is alligators and crocodiles. And I watched them, and here they are, not in their natural habitat. Instead, they're captive. They're captured. They're trapped. They are living in total and complete bondage, and they are willing to line up in a pretty little row and even climb on top of each other to go after one little piece of food. Just one little piece of food that's on the end of a stick that a 6-year-old kid is handing to them, as though it is this amazing event. And I was talking to my partner, and he went back and he was literally poking at the alligators with the stick without any food on the stick. And this one alligator was sitting there with his mouth wide open, right? Like wide open. And Steve puts the stick in the alligator's mouth, and the alligator didn't close his mouth. This was like, you don't have any food on that stick, so I'm not going to close my mouth. I'm just not, I'm not even going to be bugged by you. So he even knows, like, I'm not that. I don't really need to do much until you go get some food. Then I'll take the food off the stick nicely, and you can have your little show. I was just thinking about it after he was telling that drive back and everything. I was thinking about, just how much are we like these captivated alligators at this petting zoo that I went to today. And I look at us humans, and the average and the ordinary, the people out there, and we work our butts off, and we do all these different things, and we live in this captivation. We live this life where we really push for it, and we have this total power. We have this beautiful potency, this beautiful creative energy, all of this greatness to offer this world, total strength. And we don't give ourselves enough credit for it, do we? We don't have enough courage. The majority of us just don't have enough courage to really step forward and climb the fuck out of that cage that we have been existing in. Because what? it's so comfortable in that cage, isn't it? The water's the perfect temperature. There's never a rainy day. There's never a too hot day. We know that our food is always going to arrive at perfect times. We know that just our system, even though sometimes it might be a little skewed, it might be a little off, is far better than living the risky business of going out there and being independent on our own. And that's what these alligators are kind of in. Now, I'm pretty sure that if you gave any of those alligators an option to go down some river in Florida or in Louisiana or in Mississippi or something, they'd be like, oh, heck yeah, I'm out of here. They're not going to come back to their safety net of the Arkansas petting zoo, right? They're probably not going to do that. But as human beings, we're probably not as smart. The majority of people, sorry guys, we're just not as smart as the alligators, because the alligators, given the opportunity to have their freedom, would by far take freedom over containment. But as human beings, we tend to take containment over freedom. We proclaim that we want our freedom. We proclaim that we want all this stuff. We say, oh no, I've got big dreams. I've got these lofty dreams and these lofty goals, and I got all this stuff that I want to have, and I've got this big why as to why I want to have it. And then when it gets handed to us, when it's given to us, when an opportunity presents itself, when there is an opportunity to go and create that life, all of a sudden, what do? Well, don't really have the time for that, or you don't understand, I have little kids, you don't understand, I have teenagers, you don't understand. As soon as I have, when I hit empty nest mode, then I'll have time, then I'll have more money, then I'll have, all my bills paid off, I'll be out of debt, then I'll have this, like once I get this taken care of. I've really been through some rocky times, and it's just been kind of rough. I don't really have a support system in place right now. I don't really know what to do. If that works for that person over there or that person over there, but it doesn't work for me because, I know I said that I had those goals. I know, but it's just going to have to wait another 6 months, another year, another 5 years, another 20 years. Catch it next lifetime. Catch it next lifetime. All right. Last time I checked, unless you believe in past life regression, unless you've done that regression work and you remember, and even if you've done the regression work and you remember some of it, and you might say, well, it impacts this lifetime, not to go down some new agey route here with you or spiritual stuff, but if you did that, here's the reality: it's still not happening in this life. That's that lifetime, not this lifetime. And this lifetime is the life that you are living. This lifetime is the life that you are getting the opportunity to create the life that you want, to have your dreams, your goals manifest the way you want them to manifest in this lifetime, and for the reasons that you want them to manifest, not because of whoever said, right? So alligators will choose freedom instead of containment. Human beings will choose containment instead of freedom, for many a good reason, also known as an excuse or fear, ego, getting us by the balls, where alligators, who don't seem to have a whole lot of sense, because they'll line up for one little piece of chicken off of a stick from a 6-year-old, they'll sit on each other's backs, and they'll all sit there in a pretty little line, and I kid you not, I'm going to show you a picture of this. It's amazing, like that. I will be sharing a picture. But they'll do that. But if you put them out into an open river, into open water, they're gone. They are gone. They're not going to look back. They're not going to sit on the beach and go, man, that open water looks really good, and all those fish out there will sound really yummy to my tummy, and I know I could be fed, and I know I could have this freedom and this flexibility and just live out my years however I choose. But you know what? Nope. That alligator petting zoo, that's the place to be. That's the happening place. Yep, where I get my nozzle rubber banded so that little kids can hold me and scream and drop me. Yep, that sounds really good to me, because you know what? They're going to feed me little morsels of chicken and beef and what have you. Every dead animal they put on the end of a stick, and I'm going to be happy with that. I'm going to just really, really, truly be happy. No, fucking alligators don't do that. They're given the opportunity, they're going to choose happiness. So my question to you today, because I am headed to the lake here, and I was told that I have a timeline. They're like, don't stay too long out there on your Botch's coffee, Mom. So, see, containment. There's my containment. It's from my 7 kids plus their extras and all that good stuff. No. My question to you is where are you accepting bondage over freedom? And what are your fantastic reasons as to why you need to remain in containment versus choosing your freedom? Think about that. Write it down. I encourage you to really explore what those reasons are. And then once you write them down, I want you to then ask yourself, is this a reason that is coming from fear? Or is this a reason that is coming from love and heart and from my soul? Is it coming from my soul or is it coming from fear? Because I guarantee you that most of those reasons, if not 99.9999%, if not 100%, I'm guessing it's 100%. Yeah, it's probably 100%. Then guess what? If you are choosing containment over your freedom, then you're probably choosing it out of fear. And fear never serves for very long. Fear handcuffs you. Fear handcuffs your manifesting potential. Fear handcuffs your dreams. Fear handcuffs your love life. Fear handcuffs your health. Fear handcuffs your joy. Fear handcuffs your bliss, your happiness, your connection, your peace, your creativity, your overall well-being and picture. Fear locks that shit up. It locks it up where you cannot experience this life, this one life that you are living, that you will remember until your last day. And if past lives exist, then maybe, possibly, the lesson that you could get from this life, if you choose to be more like, as Dennis is saying here, that if you, Denise, sorry, sunlight, is saying here, then I will be an alligator. Yes, choose freedom, because if you choose freedom in this lifetime, if past lives really exist, maybe the lesson that you'll get from this life in your next life is not, I chose to live a life of fear, but I chose to live a life on purpose, according to me, according to my ways, according to the power, the purpose that God instilled in my heart, in my soul. And I chose to take a step in faith, and actually create the life that I want to live. And that is what you're here for, guys. You are here to create a life that is about thriving, that is about joy, that is about connection, intimacy, love, depth, happiness. It's not the surface level shit where it's just like, okay, I get up at 6 a.m. and I watch the morning news and I check my bank account and see how much money's not in there, and I get into my car and I drive an hour and a half to my work, and then I work, you know, for 8, 9, 10, 12 hours, whatever that might be, and I take the little lunch break, if I have time to take lunch break and care for myself, that my boss tells me that I can take, and I'm back in time to make sure that I'm there like my boss told me that I'm supposed to be. And then I get back in my car and I drive an hour and a half back to my house, and then I make dinner for my family, and then I do whatever I need to do, and I check my emails and I check my bills and I do this and I do that, and I spend about this much time with the people that I love, this much time doing the things I want, this much time actually living my fucking life. That's how much time the majority, the average and the ordinary, choose to live their life. This much. So, if you're average and ordinary, and I just pissed you off, oh well, stop following me. If you choose to be more like the alligator and you choose your freedom, then realize that you gotta let go of the comfort of living this much life. Because when you open up that doorway, that gateway to that freedom, things get a little exciting. Things get a little scary. Things get a little edgy. Things just kind of get a little rocky. You got to be able to breathe that in. You got to be able to really go with it. You got to be willing to learn how to sail those waters, because that's what freedom's about, is learning how to sail. Sail your boat, sail it through your life, and create the changes that you want, create the path that you want, and find the lands that you really want to go and explore, because that's what it's about, baby. That's really, truly, truly what it's about. So I hope that you choose the alligator's path. If you don't, no skin off of my back. I'm not going to be eating alligator jerky or anything like that, so whatever. Although I have tried alligator jerky. That was interesting. I think I tried that last year with emu jerky and ostrich jerky and something else. I was at some jerky thing But that's totally different subject. So yeah, so freedom versus containment. What's it going to be? I encourage you to explore those questions, explore where it's coming from. If you're choosing containment, if you're choosing the comfort of containment, ask yourself, why are you choosing it? Where is that coming from? Is that coming from a place of fear, or is it coming from a place of soul? And really, get real with yourself. Get real with yourself and just ask that. So, okay, guys. I hear children coming around there all in their swim gear and ready to go to the lake for an afternoon adventure. I will post awesome alligator pictures, because I'm telling you, this picture of my 4-year-old holding this alligator that's about as long as he is tall. It's pretty amazing. Yeah, it is pretty cool picture. And I'll also post the one of my 6-year-old feeding the alligators so that you can actually see what those alligators look like. I will post those 2 pictures here in the comments for you, okay? So that you have that. As always, you can follow me at www.kendalwilliams.com. And remember, start living. Really, truly, like, start living, okay? Stop existing, start living, live your life. It's the only life that you have, which is this one right here. I love you guys, and I will catch you tomorrow with another Conscious Coffee. Bye, everybody.